Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Move the Sticks Senior Bowl roster reveal show here this year. I am Rhett Lewis. So glad, of course, to be joined by the Move the Sticks team. You know them, our former NFL scouts, Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks. And it is our absolute pleasure for the second straight year to welcome back the executive director of the Reese's Senior Bowl, Jim Nagy, as we get set over the next hour to reveal to you this 2021 Senior Bowl roster. We'll go through each position group as these players get set to embark on what one NFL Super Bowl champion called the interview of a lifetime. So here's what we got going on, Jim. You've been hard at work compiling another top flight roster here over the course of the last few months for a game, though, that will look a little bit different. Moving from the venerable Ladd-Peebles Stadium for the first time in 7 decades, now moving over to the brand spanking new Hancock-Whitney Stadium on the campus of South Alabama in Mobile. And a game that will also feel a little bit different with everything that we're dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. But give us a sense of what to expect this year down in Mobile.
Yeah, first off, guys, thanks for sharing your platform and letting us reveal these rosters here on Move the Sticks. It's great. Yeah, the game's going to have a different feel this year at the new stadium. We're really excited about the move. Really excited. You said state-of-the-art. That's what it is. It's a great facility. We're excited about that move. And the week's going to look different. We've worked very hard to kind of build out the Senior Bowl week and make it more of a fan destination. And we're going to have to strip those things back this year and really just focus on practice in a game. The one thing about COVID is we've had a lot of time to sit around and come up with contingency plans and making sure everyone's safe. So I want everyone to know that the plan we have in place, we're very confident in. We've run it past all 32 teams. The players are going to come down. They're going to be tested quite a bit. All the NFL folks will be tested on a daily basis. So we feel really good about where we're at. And we're excited to get the players down here because it's not a normal year. These decision makers that are going to be taking the cards off the board on draft day are not out at games on Saturday. They're with their clubs on Sundays. So this is going to be the first time they'll be able to really get their eyeballs on these guys and make that live evaluation that's so important.
And DJ, Bucky, for you guys, look, it's just another draft process that will feel a little bit different as well, but it makes the Senior Bowl all the more valuable this year in particular.
Yeah, I think it'll be the most important Senior Bowl that we've ever had. And I'm not just saying that because Jim's with us. I really do believe that. When you've got a year where some players did not play at all this year, some played 3 or 4 games, some played 10, 11 games or even more. So to get a chance in person to evaluate these guys, it's going to be more important, Bucky, this year than I think it's ever been.
Yeah, DJ, you're absolutely right. It's always been a big part of the evaluation puzzle. The Senior Bowl now escalates in terms of its importance because we haven't seen a lot of these guys participate. We finally get a chance to see these guys on the field competing against some of the best at their respective positions. This Senior Bowl, more than ever, will be a huge part of the evaluation process.
Well, let's get you a look at what you can expect from us here on NFL Network during Senior Bowl week. We've always got you covered down in Mobile. You'll see our Senior Bowl practice recap shows from January 26th through the 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, all culminating with our broadcast of the Reese's Senior Bowl on January 30th. That's a Saturday at 2:30 Eastern Time, all here on NFL Network. Hey, the quarterbacks are always the headliners, so let's begin our roster reveal with a look at a few of the signal callers, including the winningest quarterback in fighting Irish football history. Ian Book is headed to Mobile. 10 of Book's Notre Dame record 30 wins coming this season, and we'll get an opportunity for win number 31 on Saturday against Clemson in the ACC championship game. Another one of the most experienced quarterbacks in college football is taking that veteran savvy to the Senior Bowl, one of 7 quarterbacks in Big 12 history to accumulate over 13,000 yards in his 45 games as a Longhorn. It is Sam Ehlinger, and the Longhorns gunslinger is coming to the Senior Bowl. Texas A&M's Kellen Mond has etched his name into the Aggie football record books and will showcase his skills for NFL scouts. Mond compiling a 24-10 career record in College Station with a signature win this season over then number 4 ranked Florida, who could send their starting quarterback to Mobile with some coveted hardware under his right arm. Heisman hopeful Kyle Trask has accepted his invite to the Senior Bowl in a historic season. Trask's 40 touchdowns, breaking the Florida single-season touchdown record. And it is our pleasure to welcome in the Florida Gators starting quarterback Kyle Trask with us right now on the Move the Sticks Senior Bowl roster reveal show. Kyle, welcome. Congratulations on a record-setting season. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no question. Look, I mentioned the 40 touchdowns, and that was a record at 39 before you broke it that was held by none other than Danny Werfel, who I understand you got a call from following that 40th touchdown. What was that interaction like?
Yeah, it was, first of all, it was really cool just to, hear from a legend like Danny Werfel, who is, he's etched his name into Florida football's history books. And, to have that conversation with him was unbelievable. He let me know, that he's just really proud of me and that he's just always been in my corner throughout the whole entire season.
Hey, Kyle. Just want to say thank you for accepting the invite. We're excited to get you down here to Mobile. You might not be the most popular Gator, though, because that's probably going to belong to Kadarius Toney, Blunt High School's finest here in Mobile. Been watching Kadarius play for a long time. But I just wanted to talk about my first exposure to you was last year at LSU on the road in a night game. Maybe the most hostile environment in college football. And for a guy that hadn't played a lot of football up until then, your poise and how you handled yourself on that big stage in that environment was super impressive. So can you just talk about go back to last year and kind of being thrown in after not starting since 10th grade? I know there's been that's been a big storyline behind you, but can you just talk about last year as a starter in big stages like that?
Yeah, I mean, I got thrown in there, and I had to just step up for my team. We played in a lot of hostile environments throughout the season. I think, LSU, just looking back on it, playing against the national champions of that year, I think we came in there and we just had to execute to the best of our ability with, some top competition. We made, as a team, just one too many mistakes there at the end. But it was, looking back on it, was really just a cool experience.
Kyle, I'm curious about your preparation. I know it's a different year here with COVID and all the other things, but can you just walk me through a little bit of what your weekly preparation looks like? I know obviously what you can do at the facility as well as you can do away from the facility. What have you been doing to get yourself ready to go and perform the way you've performed?
Yeah, I mean, first things first, I mean, with COVID going on, it helps, having all online classes, so you don't have to run all over the place. So I kind of just, we wake up, we got meetings in the morning, and, I go back home, knock out some homework on my online classes, and then it's pretty much football for the rest of the day. Come back for, some treatment or meetings, and, I'm pretty much at the facility for like 75% of the day, just straight grinding and getting ready for Saturday.
Cal, in thinking about that experience, how do you believe like this last year is actually going to help you prepare and perform at your best at the Senior Bowl? You talked about grinding every day. Why will you be better prepared to really shine at the Senior Bowl?
I think it's just, I've had a lot of adversity on my journey to, play here at Florida, and I've always had to make the most of the reps that I was given. And I know there's a lot of very talented quarterbacks that are going to be at the Senior Bowl, and it's all about just making the most of your reps at the end of the day.
Hey, Kyle, look, you talked about adversity there, and obviously you're getting set for the SEC championship game here against Alabama, but coming off obviously a disappointing loss to LSU and had another tight one to Texas A&M earlier in the season. So you've dealt with adversity on a week-to-week basis. You'll see it play-to-play down there competing against the best that college football has to offer in Mobile in the Senior Bowl with the eyes of the NFL watching every move. How do you deal with that adversity, whether it's play-to-play, game-to-game, week-to-week?
Well, I think, that's what the quarterback position is all about. You're never going to have, the perfect game plan or, the perfect execution on, every single drive. But the thing is, you just got to adapt and, make the most of every situation that you're thrown into. I think that, obviously we had a tough loss this past weekend. But it's just another hurdle for this team to, get over, and we're just focused on rebounding and how we respond to that loss and just get better moving forward.
So Kyle, draft fans out there follow this thing real closely. They hear what Daniel has to think about guys and Bucky has to think about guys. But I want to hear from you, a guy that throws him the football. You, from a perspective, kind of break down Kadarius Toney for us and Trayvon Grimes, your two receivers that are going to be coming here to Mobile with you.
Well, first of all, I just want to say they're extremely hard workers. You know, they've earned everything you see them do on Saturday. You know, from the off season to, you know, treatment to, you know, just taking care of their bodies. And it all really just shows on Saturdays when you see them making plays. They've truly earned it. And, you know, lastly, I just want to say they're great people. They're very explosive. You know, Kadarius, I still don't know how. I'm still yet to see a team that can successfully cover him one-on-one because he's just so shifty. And, you know, Trey Grimes has such strong hands. He can go up with, you know, anybody in America. So they're just two overall just special players.
Well, we look forward to seeing your connection with them, and we wish you the best of luck against Alabama in the SEC championship game. And can't wait to see you down in Mobile. Kyle, thanks for hanging out with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Great to chat there with Kyle Trask. Now looking among the 5 quarterbacks committed so far to the 2021 Reese's Senior Bowl. I know, Jim, you said you want to see 8, but already with these first 5, that's a great start. Some real intrigue with these guys, including Jamie Newman, who, of course, transferred from Wake Forest to Georgia, but never played as a Bulldog, instead choosing to opt out of this season. But let's start with Ian Book. Open up the book for us on Ian and what you're excited to see from him down in Mobile.
Yeah, we're really excited. Ian's playing in the game. In Red, I'll bring it back to a couple summers ago when we were at the Manning camp together. That was my first exposure to Ian Book. And as DJ and Bucky know, when you scout the quarterback position, it starts with the feet, right? And just remember seeing Ian on the practice field that day and just how bouncy he was as an athlete. That's really where it started for me. And then to watch him the last couple of years and him to develop. You know, Coach Kelly's talked about how many games he's won and what a great job he's done leading that program. But to me, he's one of those guys, he's made a really nice late career jump in his overall play. Just become more consistent. His feel has gotten better for the position in the pocket, moving around. He's really an underrated athlete. I think he can do a lot with his legs. So, yeah, he's a guy we're really excited to get down here to Mobile.
You know, Jim, I'm excited to see Ian Book, but I'm also excited to see Sam Ehlinger. When I watched the kid from Texas play, he checks off a lot of boxes. He's tough, he's smart, he's athletic, he's super competitive, and he has put this team on his back in key moments. I'm excited to see how he competes in a big-time atmosphere down in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, Sam Ehlinger is one of those guys. I feel like we've watched him at Texas for the last 10 years. One of those guys. You know, I've got a couple more guys, and Kellen Mond is one in the same state there at Texas A&M who feels like he's been their quarterback for Jimbo Fisher down there for about a decade. But he's somebody, Jim talked about Ian Book continuing to progress and to get better year after year. I think you say the same thing about Kellen Mond. He has all the traits that you look for with the size, the arm strength, the athleticism. He's cleaned up some of the decision-making this year, and I think you've seen Texas A&M as a team make that leap forward based largely on the improvements from Kellen Mond. And then another quarterback with traits that's very intriguing. Rhett, you mentioned him there at the top, but that's Jamie Newman. Yeah. Watching him at Wake Forest, I remember over the summer watching their talented wide receiver down there, Surratt, who opted out of this year as well. And Jamie Newman, just kind of noticed this guy's big. He can move around. He makes good decisions. He was productive in some big games for them there at Wake. He transfers to Georgia. We're excited to watch him this year play for the Bulldogs. Then he decides last minute, no, he's not going to play due to the pandemic. Right. And this is going to be the first opportunity we get to see him in about a year. So this is going to be a huge, huge platform for him in the evaluation process.
Well, it'll be a great opportunity for us to see Jamie Newman and the rest of these quarterbacks try to make their mark on the NFL scouting community and the Senior Bowl. But right now, let's look back on a few quarterbacks, or one in particular who certainly has already left his in Senior Bowl legend, Terry Bradshaw.
I left the North-South game in Miami where they were trying me out at running back and tight end, not quarterback. So I leave for Mobile for the Senior Bowl, which was the biggest game. I went straight in, didn't check in, put my luggage down in the lobby, went up when I found out where Coach Schuler's room was, knocked on the door. He opened up the door and said, "Hey, Terry, how you doing?" I was shocked. He knew who I was. And I said, "Can I talk to you for a second?" Pulled him out of the doorway into the hall and said, "Are you going to give me a chance to play in the Senior Bowl? Because they didn't give me a chance to play quarterback." He said, "What? You're my starting quarterback. You're going to play the whole game unless you take yourself out." And you're, "No, what are you kidding me? You're my guy." And I went, "Thank you." Stayed, MVP in the game, broke 2 ribs, got on a plane, went home. Big crowd waiting on me to get off the plane. Felt like a hero.
And I feel that the Senior Bowl opened up the eyes of a lot of people that that I could play and compete in the NFL. So the Senior Bowl made a world of difference for me.
You know, you better go to camp prepared to play, and not not look at it as a just a throwaway game or a fun game that you're going to play in. You got to look at it as this is an audition for you and for your future in the NFL.
Senior Bowl memories was awesome. This was supposed to be the best of the best. I couldn't miss this for nothing. There's no other bowl game that I wanted to be in because I wanted to go up against the best guys. I also remember when just a bunch of scouts and coaches and things of that nature just standing over us, putting the pressure on us. So I loved that moment. It was a big time for me to go out there and show those guys what I was capable of doing. And I do believe that the Senior Bowl actually helped me go from probably a second, maybe third round draft pick to a first rounder.
What I remember most about being in Mobile for the Senior Bowl was just all the different teams and personnel from different teams being there and how you have to kind of put your best foot forward and try to impress them because, you know, that's the first impression that they're going to get of you before, you know, going to the combine and seeing you, and then after that, the draft.
You were the MVP, so what was the game like for you?
Yeah, the game was awesome. I mean, you know, I was in there and I just wanted to show them that I actually was a versatile running back, that not only can I run the ball, that I could catch the ball, and I did it all that game. You know, I ran down on kickoffs, made tackles, you know, ran the ball pretty well and had a few catches.
What I remember about being in Mobile, Alabama for Senior Bowl week was just all the media coverage, seeing all the NFL coaches come around you. That was my first take on how they view you and how they separate you and make you stand up there and kind of view you and see if that's the money that they want to put into you. So it was scary because it was unknown. It was unknown waters. But would I do it again? Absolutely, because I was able to, while everybody in the National Football League was there, put my skills on display.
Take it seriously. You know, this game can really boost your draft stock, especially guys that, you know, a lot of the personnel people in the National Football League didn't get a chance to see. I was that guy. So take it seriously. It's one of your biggest job interviews you'll ever do. And have fun at the same time. Enjoy your peers. That's a memory for me that I will always remember. That was one of the best times I had coming out of college, being around all my peers. Certainly a fun time, but at the same time, it is a job interview.
All right, back here with you on the Move the Stick Senior Bowl roster reveal show with a look at the Senior Bowl accepted invites at running back, which includes the Oklahoma transfer Trey Sermon finishing his career as part of a 1-2 punch in limited action for Ohio State this year. Also get a chance to see Missouri's all-time leading rusher as a running back and Larry Roundtree III. Jim, I know I'm kind of excited to see this Missouri Tiger get down to Mobile. What do we expect from him?
Yeah, Rhett, we're excited about this whole group. Usually this is one position group for the Senior Bowl that's tough to get. A lot of these, you know, really talented running backs jump as juniors. We're just lucky this year that a lot of these guys stayed in, and a lot of them made nice late career jumps. But with Larry, really excited about his game. I think he's one of the most underrated players in college football. As you can see on the video, I mean, he's got burst, he's got contact balance. He's one of those guys that, to me, has that ideal running back body type in terms of being compact, kind of low to the ground. He bounces off a lot of stuff. And really, the bottom line, he's just a hard guy to get on the ground. So to see what he's done in the SEC over his career, and this year with some monster games, this was a big get for us.
You know, Jim, I'm always excited to see a Tar Heel included on the list. Michael Carter, running back, is really outstanding. He's had a fantastic final season at Carolina. And when I look at him, I really like his toughness, his physicality, his ability to run inside and outside. But really, he's an underrated pass catcher out of the backfield. And as we look at the game evolving and how people are using the running backs as playmakers, I think Michael Carter offers some of that. He is going to be an intriguing prospect to monitor when he gets his opportunity to do his thing down in Mobile.
And these running back prospects can look at one of last year's running backs down in Mobile, Antonio Gibson, as what kind of impact the Senior Bowl week can have on you. Doing great things Gibson is for the Washington football team in his rookie season. Okay, let's get to the pass catchers here, starting with your wideouts that are going to the 2021 Reese's Senior Bowl. You now know about the talented Florida pass catchers, Senior Bowl bound, as we heard from Kyle Trask, their quarterback. Arguably Michigan's best offensive player this year, Nico Collins, opted out of the season, but will showcase his skills in Mobile. How about UAB's Austin Watkins Jr., a cousin of Chiefs wideout Sammy Watkins and one of the toughest covers in Conference USA the last 2 years. Also heading to Mobile, a guy no stranger to Biletnikoff Award consideration, a finalist as a sophomore. And again this year, it's Oklahoma State's Tylan Wallace, and he joins us now. Well, Tylan, so glad to have you here with us. Congratulations on your Senior Bowl invite. We're excited to see you down in Mobile, and it's been so fun to watch you, whether it's in Stillwater or around the Big 12 here throughout your entire career. Such an explosive player. And I loved this, though, about what your head coach, Mike Gundy, said about you recently. Said, in his opinion, he's made your football team so much better in the competitive leadership standpoint. Give me a sense of what that means to you and how you describe yourself amongst your teammates.
Just, obviously to get a comment from a head coach like that means a lot to me. But I think a lot of it just comes to back when I was little. That was how I was raised on the game, was to always compete, go out there and give it your all. And got to give credit to my twin brother, having him by my side my whole life. That definitely helped me a lot. With him doing everything I'm doing, whether it's playing sports, running track, playing football, whatever it is, he's always there by my side, and we're just going back and forth and competing. So I have to, give a little credit to him as well.
Well, Tylan, let me start by saying we're excited to get you down here to Mobile. When you and I were going back and forth about a month ago about coming down here, really excited to finally get you down and get you signed up. Just talking about your game, I think the school lists you at 6 foot, 185 pounds, whatever that is. Not the biggest, but you put on the tape and you play bigger than that. You play stronger than that. To me, you're one of those guys from a scout's take is like throw out the measurables, just focus on what the tape looks like. Can you just talk about your game and what you think your strengths are, what you're going to bring to Mobile?
Definitely. I think, that, like I was saying, I got to give a lot of credit to just how I was raised upon the game. I was always raised to be competitive, to always go out there and be physical. I feel like a lot of people look at receivers and see them as divas or anything like that, but that's not how I was raised to play the game. So, a few key strengths I think for me is definitely high point in the football and as well as blocking. I think those are just things that I think a lot of receivers don't bring the real physical aspect of the game to, and I try to do that in my game.
Tylan, going down there to Mobile as a Biletnikoff finalist, and we'll see, hopefully end up bringing home the hardware there. You're going to be a marked man. These corners are going to want to challenge you. They want to test themselves. Are you looking forward to that one-on-one battle you're going to get on a daily basis down there in Mobile?
Oh, yeah, definitely, of course. Always love to go out there and compete. So, can't wait to get out there and just show everybody what I can do.
Tylan, and thinking about what you can do, one of the things that's really impressed that I've seen that's really impressive is your route running ability. When you look ahead to the NFL and guys that are able to do it, route runners are really dominating. What is it about your route running ability that separates you from others?
I think a part of also bringing back the physicality part of it, I feel like when I'm kind of running my routes, I like to be physical with the DBs when they're close to me. So I feel like a key thing I like to bring to that is, bringing that physical aspect in all parts of the game, no matter what it is, whether it's being running routes, blocking, no matter what, anything it is, I like to bring that, just being physical no matter what.
Well, DJ mentioned the Biletnikoff, and Oklahoma State, I guess, could be considered Biletnikoff U. I think the only FBS school with 3 Biletnikoff winners, Justin Blackman having won it twice, and then Senior Bowl alum James Washington also winning it. And you've got a shot this year. And look, I think it's pretty cool because your production has positioned you among those greats in Oklahoma State Cowboy history, whether it's Rashawn Woods, Des Bryant, Blackman, James Washington. What does that kind of recognition mean to you?
It means the world to me. I mean, obviously coming in, I've always heard about those guys, the greats, the great receiving core that OSU produces here, and that's part of the reason why I came here. And just to be mentioned in the names with all those guys, it's really just an honor and a blessing just to, even be in the talk with guys like that. So I'm just really blessed to be in this position.
Tyler, when you get down in Mobile, you're going to sit across from these scouts and general managers. And one question they always ask is, who do you pattern your game after? Is there anyone at the next level that you watch on tape that you try to take some stuff from?
I think all over the place. You try to take key things just from each of the top guys, obviously, out of the guys that are there now. But I think coming into before I got here, I watched a lot of Des Bryant, and I feel like I tried to model a lot of my game after him. So I think a key thing for me the reason why I play the way I play is because watching him and the way he plays the game is kind of what I model my game after.
Another one of those questions you'll get from everybody you talk to down there is they want to know about adversity that you've been through and what you've done to overcome it. Is there any adversity you can think of on the field or off the field that comes to your mind?
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously me last year tearing my ACL, that was a big hit for me. I've never been seriously injured like that before until that happened to me. So that was a big thing this offseason, especially with that and COVID-19. That had a lot of impact on me and my rehab process. But I attacked it the best I could, went out there and tried to come back and be the guy that I was the year before. So I feel like that was a key thing for me going into this year, is being able to prove everybody that, I'm still the same guy that I used to be, for sure.
Tylan Wallace, Oklahoma State Cowboys, joining us here on the Move the Sticks Senior Bowl roster reveal show. Tylan, thanks for hanging out with us here today. We look forward to getting you down in Mobile and getting you rolling. See, maybe you can throw up the X like Des. All right?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, let's continue the conversation now on the wideout group heading down to Mobile. We heard Kyle Trask's scouting report on his 2 teammates at wideout that are going to be at the Senior Bowl. Bucky, I want to get your take on these guys, starting with Trayvon Grimes. Give us a sense of what you expect to see from him.
Well, I expect Trayvon Grimes to be a dominant performer. Having watched him since he was in high school, he has a lot of the traits that NFL executives will love. He's big, he's physical, he has great hands, wins contested balls, and he has a physicality about him that is going to make him a natural number 1 receiver. Some, I think, will compare him to like a poor man's Mike Evans in terms of his ability to play big down the field.
And Jim, how about his teammate there, his running mate?
Yeah, similar to what Bucky said about seeing Trey since high school. I've been watching Kadarius Toney since high school here in Mobile. I kind of compare him to a cross between Deebo Samuel and Dante Hall, the old Chiefs receiver. He's got that short area change of direction to make you miss. And then he's got that power in a small body. He's got that power that Deebo Samuel has. So one of the top playmakers in college football this year. He's going to put on a show in Mobile. And someone similar to him that's really had a bust-out year for Western Michigan is D. Eskridge. He looks like he's playing at a completely different speed than everyone else on the field in the MAC this year. Going to run 4.3, has been dynamic in the return game and at receiver. So right now you don't hear Eskridge talked about with this upper echelon of receivers, and I feel like coming out of Mobile you will.
Oh, this is a good group you've assembled here, Jim. I would just add one more. Amari Rodgers, who is an ideal slot, somebody you can use on some of the fly sweeps as well as let him separate in the middle of the field. It's going to be fun to watch him in the one-on-ones, but overall, this is an impressive group of wideouts you've put together.
Guys, let's also look now at the tight end group heading to Mobile. Kyle Granson of SMU is a terrific story. He was at a real crossroads in his football career after leaving Rice. He found a home at SMU, productive ball on the field, 16 career touchdowns. Productive off it. He started his own nonprofit organization called KG's Kids to inspire children to develop the same love of reading that Kylan's enjoyed his whole life. Really cool story there. Look forward to seeing that crew down at tight end in Mobile. And they'll have the opportunity to be coached up by the best there is in the NFL, the NFL coaches that, of course, on staff that will be coaching up these players down in Mobile. And let's look back for some of our favorite coaching moments in Senior Bowl history.
That nose shading this direction, with that nose shade here, you want to read it. Okay, you're reading the first down lineman inside out. First down lineman inside out. Inside zone. First.
There we go. Let's go. Come on. Go again. What foot we leading with? Oh, no, we ain't leading with that one. We ain't got that foot. The right foot lead. Right foot every time. Right foot every time. Go again. There we go. Right foot lead. Right foot lead. Let's go. Here we go. Come on. Let's go. Good. There you go. Set, hit. Hurry up. Go. Right at me. Set, hit. All right, now go. Move back.
Bang play now. Reverse 6. Let's go snug left past 99 blister. X strike. Snug left past 99 blister.
Okay, snug left past 99 blister. X strike. On 1-on-1. Ready?
Up in it, Drew. Number 10.
Put an angle on your track. You believe what's on your track. He go outside, you go inside. He go inside, you go outside. He sit down, he got to go for the ride. Don't do nothing else but that. You have a long career.
So you guys are going to have double right, 2 scat Aggie. Double right, 2 scat Aggie on deck.
The double right.
Guys, right here, we got north, left, clamp, 2 scat, YCO bow.
Scout.
Hey, so if he's inside the numbers, we know that the comeback turns into what?
Yeah, okay, whatever.
A corner. Yep.
Well, when it comes to the Reese's Senior Bowl, the 2021 edition, it is going to be a Notre Dame affair. You see here on the list, 6 Notre Dame players are going to be in Mobile to compete with the finest in the country, and we couldn't be more excited to have the head coach of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish joining us right now, and that is Brian Kelly. Coach, I know this is a crazy week for you. You've got signing day. You've got the biggest game of the season playing for an ACC championship this weekend, but I know this is a special thing for you to see all these guys get honored and get a chance to compete.
No doubt, and to be part of the Senior Bowl, and Jim does such a great job, and not only its organization, but giving these kids an opportunity to show themselves in a manner that allows them to practice, allows them to go through a day where they get the opportunity to be seen by coaches, regional scouts, national scouts, GMs, and I really think it's the best opportunity for these young guys to really get a great evaluation.
Well, Coach Kelly, first of all, thank you for being on the show today and helping us unveil this roster. Before we kick it to Bucky, I think he's going to hit you up on your quarterback. I just want to say thank you for your cooperation throughout this fall, and your staff does a great job. So we are just here at the Senior Bowl. We're excited to get 6 more of your guys down here to Mobile this year.
Well, they'll be there. We weren't certain that any games were going to be played. So to get one more game in, hopefully we've got some more left in us as well. But they're excited about the opportunity.
Coach, in talking about your program, your quarterback, Ian Book, has been fantastic, winningest quarterback in Notre Dame history. Share a little bit about him and why you expect him to do well in this environment.
Well, I think first of all, he's been in the bright lights. He's had the scrutiny. He's had people tell him that, obviously he hasn't done the things necessary for him to be a great quarterback, and certainly all he's done is win football games. And so, again, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But as a head football coach, for me, 30 career wins, most in school history, big wins. Look, taking your football team down against Clemson, the number one team in the country, with a minute 9 left on your 6-yard line. Ian Book is that kind of player. You can see him in the pocket. He's got great feet, keeps plays alive, and just has the ability and that savvy to make plays when necessary.
Coach, Notre Dame has done a great job, and we've talked to you about this over the years, of producing offensive linemen. We've got 2 in this game with Robert Hainsey and Liam Eichenberg. I want to ask you about Eichenberg specifically. In terms of the tackles, I know a lot of guys, when I watched him, I jotted down some comparisons of some of the other guys that you've had there, but I'd love to get your take just how these 2 players stack up with some of the other guys you've had that have gone on to have tremendous success at the next level.
So Eichenberg, I mean, one of the things that he brings, I think, that is similar to the other guys is length, but more importantly, he's very physical at the point of attack. And both of the guys that we're talking about in terms of comparison, you're talking about a Ronnie Stanley, you're talking about Mike McGlinchey as well at the left tackle position. Both of those guys were extremely athletic, maybe even more athletic than Liam. Liam brings a little bit more of a point of attack, powerful positionally as a player. And so, again, I think he's the next one in line. Excellent pass blocker, strong with his hands, can move his feet very well, and very, very smart and instinctive as an offensive line. He has an FBI that is outstanding in terms of how he plays the offensive line position.
Coach, here at the Senior Bowl, we're kind of where college football and the NFL intersect. And I'll say this: Ben Skoranek, your wide receiver, was maybe the best free agent signing in all of college football this year. He's right up there with the best of them. Coming from Northwestern, a lot of people might not know a lot about him, but he's almost 6'3", 220 pounds, going to jump 38, 40 inches from what I'm told. But just really, really good tape. The Pitt game, there's a bunch of games where he's come up big. Can you just talk to us a little bit about Ben?
Yeah, I mean, he's deceptive in a lot of things that he does. I mean, I think people look at him at first take and they go, okay, but then he'll go up and get the football from you. He is a guy that will stick his nose in there and he will block you downfield. He will do all the dirty jobs. He'll play on special teams. He'll go across the middle. He'll make catches. I mean, look, this guy is going to make your roster better. I mean, and when we're talking about enhancing rosters, is he going to be a guy that scores, Wilt Fuller-like touchdowns? No, he's not. But he enhances your roster to be able to do a little bit of everything. He can be on the field in short yardage. He can be in the red zone for you. He can be a third down guy that you can be in a bunch set, and he can run pivot routes with his big body. He's just a guy that enhances your roster in so many ways.
Coach, flipping over to the defensive side of the ball, your captain, Dalen Hayes, has been fantastic. What do you like about him? How do you expect him to perform?
Well, this guy is on the rise. I mean, that's the nice part about it. As a head coach, one of the things that I love watching is the development of guys later in their career. Many times you see guys plateau out as they kind of, reach that 3rd and 4th year. He is now starting to reach his potential of what we thought he would be early on. He's dynamic. He's got great athletic ability. The game is now starting to slow down for him. I think the game was one where he had to learn about it when he first came in. He was a raw player. He understands the game a lot more. He has a suddenness to him and a strength to him. I just think that his ceiling is really large, and somebody's going to get a really good football player still on the rise.
Yeah, Coach, you're probably going to answer this question similarly to you just answered Bucky's, but Ade Ogundeji on the other side, your bookend end. Going back to last year with Khalid Kareem and Julian Okwara, those are 2 guys we had committed to last year's game and both got injured. But you saw these two guys coming up behind them, and you were excited to see what's it going to look like when they become full-time starters. Can you just comment a little bit on Ade as well?
Long, athletic, plays with a great motor, just a passion in playing the game. And he's got a lot of tread on the tire. He hasn't played very much football. He was sitting behind two really good players for the last 3 years. So, again, another guy that, will continue to get bigger, faster, stronger. He's got the measurables that you want from a guy that can play off the edge. And a guy, again, that you're gonna get on your roster. He's going to be able to help you in all phases of the game in terms of special teams and short yardage. He can come off the edge. He's going to be a good football player down the road as well.
Well, Coach, it seems like last week we were sitting up there in the booth and watching Senior Bowl practice, and you're commenting on seeing guys like Chase Claypool out there making plays, and here we are a year later, and we've got a bunch more Notre Dame players coming to compete in Mobile. We can't wait to watch them, and we thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
I'm excited that I get to introduce you guys to a 2021 Senior Bowl participant, Dylan Raiden.
Okay. See his hat? Look at his hat.
In, out, in. Yeah! That's why you're going to Mobile, Alabama, baby. That's why you're going to a Senior Bowl. Hey, I'm serious. Look at me. Let me be the first one to congratulate you. You are going to the Senior Bowl. All right? Here's your hat. Come here. Oh. Here's your official hat. And here's your invitation letter. Congratulations. You really are. Senior Bowl bound.
Congratulations, Ellis.
Congrats, bro. Yeah. Thanks, y'all. I really appreciate it. This is, I mean, it really is a dream come true. I can't put it any other way. I've been looking at this for a while. It's been a goal for a while.
What's up, man?
Doing good.
How are you?
Doing good.
How are you? Here's your official invite, man.
Thank you.
And here's your hat.
Thank you.
Ready to work. I bet you are. Real football again.
It is. It's been a while. I'm missing it.
I bet.
My man, you gonna go play in that Senior Bowl, my friend?
Huh?
Yeah, the Senior Bowl.
Oh, I got the invite?
I believe that's what we're doing.
Oh, yes, sir.
We're really honored to be on this call with you. I'm just a little bitty small piece to the giant puzzle. You putting in all the work, man. But my goodness, are we excited for you?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Coach Kane. Much love.
Yeah, buddy.
Move the Six roster, Senior Bowl roster reveal show, giving you a look at your offensive lineman acceptances. Powerful pair from one of the best O-lines in college football with Alabama's Deontay Brown and Landon Dickerson coming to Mobile. And in one of the coolest invites this year, Washington legend, Super Bowl champion quarterback and Senior Bowl Hall of Famer Doug Williams informing David Moore of his alma mater, Grambling State University, that he had been invited to the Senior Bowl, an opportunity Doug called, as I mentioned at the top of the show, the opportunity of a lifetime, also the highest rated HBCU prospect on the Senior Bowl board this year. And in addition to Alabama and Notre Dame, the Ohio State Buckeyes have a duo heading to Mobile, and Thayer Munford and Jim, a little bit of a surprise today for everyone who's been following your acceptances on Twitter. Buckeyes center Josh Myers is in.
Yeah, we tried to hold back a couple over the weekend. Some late acceptances for the show. Had to spice it up a little bit and make some breaking news. We're excited about Josh Myers. They treated him as a senior last week. Their last game in Columbus. He can play guard. He can play center at the next level. Definitely a starter level guy. We're excited about him. And then Trey Smith has been an All-American the past couple of years at Tennessee. Big, powerful guard. Can also play tackle. So those were two big adds on the offensive line.
And DJ, I mentioned the Alabama pair. I know you've been a fan of Landon Dickerson out of Alabama. Give us a sense of what you like about him.
Well, he was somebody that I was alerted to early in the season where people like around the league, you got to watch this kid from Alabama and just watch how he finishes. And he is so violent and so nasty and so physical. He's got interior flex, play center, play either guard spot. He is outstanding player who I think enters the Senior Bowl process as a top 50 pick who could potentially find his way even into the first round with a solid performance down there. And then also there's another one who's big and nasty and physical, and that's Tevin Jenkins there at Oklahoma State. First game I watched on him was against Texas, and they have a talented edge rusher, and there were plays in this game. You want to talk about finishing. There's one where it's blindside-esque, where he drives a defender all the way off the field and parks him on the bench. I mean, he is a physical, tough player. So both those guys are day one starters in the NFL who have a chance to get into that first-round discussion here with a good week in Mobile.
Well, his head coach, Mike Gundy, agrees with your assessment of his strength, calling it uncharacteristically strong. Said he watched him in a weight room this summer, and he was just throwing up 225 like 35 times, and nobody was even counting. He's that strong. That'll be fun to watch in the one-on-one periods, one of our favorite periods of practice all week in Mobile. And let's get a look at the guys who'll be going up against these offensive linemen. The other half of the O-line, D-line one-on-ones. These guys up front on defense from the undefeated Coastal Carolina, Chanticleers. From the AquaTurf to Hancock Whitney Stadium in Mobile, Teron Jackson, a Bronco Nagurski Award finalist, is in. Also in the interior, Tiquan Graham from Texas won't play in the Longhorns bowl game as he prepares for the Senior Bowl and the draft. And a name to match his big-time production, Carlos Boogie Basham from the Wake Forest Demon Deacons is in the game and on the show with us now. Well, Boogie, great to have you here with us. Can't wait to see you get on the field down at Hancock Whitney Stadium on the campus of South Alabama in this year's Senior Bowl. And look, I know it's been a kind of a tumultuous last 2 weeks here for you, having tested positive for COVID-19. Give us a sense of where you are now, your recovery, and how you're feeling.
I just previously tested negative yesterday. It's getting better as the days go on, but I would just say during COVID, it was terrible. You know, the chills, losing the taste of smell, and just pretty much everything. Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're on the up and up.
I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you're feeling better. We're excited to get you down here to Mobile. Really defensive line is one position group that can really help themselves down here, especially when they can rush the passer, which you can do. And watching your tape, you're one of those guys that you can move up and down the line and you can affect the quarterback from multiple alignments. But where do you like rushing the most from? Where do you feel the most comfortable? Where do you feel like you're going to make the most impact at the next level?
Me personally, I would say rushing from a 5 technique, just of pretty much getting a better feel of using my moves and counters. And also I like rushing from a 3 tech as well. You know, sometimes inside the guards, they're not as quick as tackles, so I can use it to my advantage.
I'm just curious, when you evaluate your own game, Boogie, and you look at something maybe that you would say is your calling card right now, what you major in, and then maybe an area you're looking to improve, and you can use that opportunity down there in Mobile to show people you've made strides in that area as well.
I would say my biggest thing is probably just playing aggressive in my motor. That's just what I pride myself off of. And I would say the thing I want to work on down there probably is just showcasing more pass rush moves and the ones I develop as the season had went on.
You know, Boogie, in thinking about wanting to showcase more moves, who are some of the guys that you study, you're patting your game after?
Recently, I just started watching more of DeMarcus Lawrence for the Cowboys. You know, he's very, very physical guy. A lot of people say they remind me of him. So, you know, I just started watching more of his tape, more of his game, how he plays. And then before I had caught COVID, but while I was in the hotel, I just started watching more tape on him and just trying to, implement some things that he used into my game.
Well, that's awesome. You are a disruptor in the backfield, man. I know I saw a streak of 23 straight games with a tackle for loss. You make a living back there. I read recently that you said you like going to the woods and just not being cooped up in one place all at once. So is that how come you end up finding yourselves in the opponent's backfield all the time? You don't like being stuck there in the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I would say, I just hate being stuck in, some places a lot of times. So, when I'm at home, or I try to find some places where there's not many people at, so I can just go out there, just, free my mind, just not think about football sometimes, just kind of just free, just clear myself.
Okay, so Boogie, all summer we had the name Carlos Basham on your tag on our board. And then it got brought to my attention you go by Boogie. So let's clear it up right now before all the media come down here and ask you where Boogie comes from. Where does Boogie come from?
Yeah, my mom's best friend growing up, she used to watch me a lot. You know, she used to just hold me, and I would just be jumping around, doing little dances here and there, and she called me Boogie, and ever since then, it kind of just stuck.
That's fantastic. Look, I want to show you a little social media clip here we had of you on the basketball court, because I know when we're scouting, we're always looking at defensive linemen. We like to see if they do have a little bit of a basketball background. And I think that you've put that to bed. We can answer that question with this video right here as you throw one down. So I'm curious. I've got two questions for you. I'm only supposed to have one left, but I've got two. Number one, how much did your basketball help you in your development as a football player? And number two, if you had to rank these three programs in the state of North Carolina between Wake Forest, App State, and North Carolina, how would you rate those three programs?
I would say, basketball it helped a lot. Just of, getting a better feel in my body, moving side to side, especially with conditioning. Playing AAU in the summer, it didn't get a condition right before two days in high school. And then ranking those three programs, Wake is obviously one, in my opinion. And then I had to go Wake, UNC, and App. I don't really.
Oh, come on, man. Come on.
I love it.
Are you not seeing these helmets?
That's big.
Look at this thing.
That's big.
He sees it, DJ. He sees it.
I was like, yeah,
he sees the Carolina
I know
stuff.
what's going on with it.
I think it's just disrespect is what it is.
You won the Honor Palmer Award as the, like a very distinguished award at Wake Forest, best male athlete. What does it mean to you?
It means to me, it's just of not just people in the football program, but people all across the athletics in Wake Forest recognizing the things I've done on and off the field. So it's pretty much that's a big thing for me.
Well, Boogie.
Boogie,
ahead,
last
Jim.
one for me real quick. I know you had a teammate opt out there this year, but you decided to stick with your teammates. Just talk to us quickly about that decision.
For me personally, I've built a ton of relationships with guys on the team. That's how I pride myself on, is just build relationships, because you never know what you may need that person for later in your life. So, I've built a lot of relationships with some guys. Three of my best friends, they're fifth-year seniors as well. They're talking to me about asking I'm going to opt out. I'm like, I don't know. And then it was like, it came down to the wire. I'm just like, I love y'all three. We came in together. We might as well finish it together. And then it's just the relationship I have with the coaches as well. They do a great job. I built a lot of love for them. And then it's just that defensive line room. It's just, we're so close. That's like a bunch of guys. I'm an only child. It's just like, I think all those guys are my brothers. And that's how I pride myself on.
Well, guys, Coach Clausen, your coach, Boogie, commented on how proud he is of you because of your leadership. I think we saw it right there in your commitment to your teammates, to your coaches, and to the Wake Forest program, and we can't wait to see it on display down in Mobile. Boogie, thanks for spending some time with us, man. We look forward to seeing you hunt quarterbacks down there, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right, now let's get a look at your edge rushers heading down to Mobile for the 2021 Reese's Senior Bowl. The Fighting Kurt Warners are sending an edge rusher to Mobile with Ellerson Smith accepting his invite. How about a couple of Big Teners on the way as well, with Jonathan Cooper of Ohio State continuing the long lineage of talented pass rushers and former Buckeyes. How about Shaka Toney out of Penn State? Absolute game-wrecking ability coming off the edge. Jim, as we look back here at the entire defensive line group, give us a sense of how you evaluated these guys.
Yeah, a lot of different flavors. You're going to be able to find something you like out of this group. We are excited about the two Pitt players. We held back Patrick Jones until today, so that's the announcement on the show that Patrick Jones is coming. Just a pure edge rusher, whereas Rashad Weaver, has a little more versatility. But both really good players, probably solidly both on day two right now. Depending on which NFL team you talk to, they might have one guy over the other, but both squarely on day two. Interesting to see where they can get in the process, if they can get themselves into the late first. And there's a couple of juniors, just to kind of tease this thing out, a couple of juniors in the edge rush crew that we're going to add here in the next couple of days. Now that their seasons are over, we didn't get them in time for the show, but they will be coming on our Twitter site in the next couple of days.
Jim's a
well,
seasoned
one
pro.
guy that stands out that is going to be an outstanding player at the next level, Marvin Wilson from Florida State. Following since high school, #1 recruit coming out of Texas. He's been as good as advertised for the Seminoles. 6'5", 304, great size, great length, does a great job of playing with power, but I also like his athleticism. He is someone who has a chance to be a very disruptive player at the next level.
All right, so excited to see those guys. And look, one of the things we've loved, Jim, since you've taken over the Senior Bowl is you've upped the ante when it comes to the acceptance theatrics for the Senior Bowl invite. It's been really cool to see how these teams and these players get the invites, get them accepted, and you guys put them out on Twitter. It's so fun to see. Let's look back at some of our favorites now for this year.
This is a special day for me. Dreams come true, right? Yeah. All right, well, let's practice. They're going to go out up in your life, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
There it is. You got the invite.
Let the motions go.
Congratulations.
I'm here today to let you know that you're going to be playing in the Senior Bowl. That's what I'm talking about. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. This is a life-changing opportunity here. You earned it. Don't let nobody take it away.
A lot of people dream of this, man. Just to be in this situation. It's an honor. God bless you. Thank you.
You understand that not only is it an individual accomplishment, but it is a team accomplishment. With that being said, Brian, we'd like to extend an invitation, all right, to the 72nd Reese's Senior Bowl. Come on down.
The Reese's Senior Bowl is where you separate yourself. Don't let anything or anyone stand up your way. Others honor, you earned it. Hey, lock down! Lock tight!
So I got this in the mail the other day. I've been waiting for the right time to.
They asked me to coach the Senior Bowl.
Oh. No, they didn't. The pro coaches, but DS couldn't go to the.
Yeah, let's go.
We did this, man. I love y'all boys. I love you too.
All right, back here on the Move the Sticks Senior Bowl roster reveal show presented by Zaxby's with a look at the second-level defenders heading to Mobile, your linebackers. The Ohio State Buckeyes planting their flag amongst this group with a pair of second-level defenders, and including Tough Borland, a guy that's been a standout for his entire career, a mainstay there for the Buckeyes. And Jim, also looking at a linebacker amidst the down year at LSU, and Jabril Cox, who really stood out.
Yeah, we were really excited to get Jabril Cox, and you go back to last year, the North Dakota State tape for the Bison. They played him really as a star position. He was really outside the box, and you saw him run and hit. You love the speed, but getting him to LSU this year and seeing him play more of a traditional linebacker role, he's exactly what the NFL is looking for right now at the position. He can play in space. He's got the speed. He's instinctive. You saw that this year. So really an exciting player to add to the game.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm keeping an eye on another linebacker in that group, and that's Tony Fields, who I saw play at the University of Arizona as a young player and pile up a ton of numbers, very productive. Doesn't know if they're going to have a season in the Pac-12, so he transfers to West Virginia, and he's done exactly what he did at Arizona. He's been a tackling machine. If you want inside linebackers, off-the-ball linebackers that can really run and cover, that's what he gives you. Now, the question's going to be, can he bang? Can he take on blocks? That'll be something we'll get to see down there in some of those 9-on-7 periods down there in Mobile. But, man, this is a productive football player.
DJ, when you talk about productive, I like Malcolm Kuntz from University of Buffalo. When you think about his steady improvement throughout his career, he has shown the ability to consistently get to the quarterback. And even though the numbers are down this year because of the schedule, I just like the fact that he is growing, he's improving, he gives you some of that versatility that you like, and he is a guy that understands how to get the quarterback down. There is always a value in finding players and prospects who have that ability.
How about game-changing players on both sides of the ball for the Bulls of Buffalo this year? Excited to see Malcolm Kuntz as we get a look now at the cornerbacks out there trying to shut down some of these wide receivers, provide some run support as well out on the perimeter. Ambry Thomas, a real interesting study when we get to Senior Bowl week, opted out of this season at Michigan after earning plenty of preseason recognition as a guy who would have been the best defensive back in the Big Ten Conference. And Jim, another guy that we're looking at here on the cornerback list, Rodarius Williams out of Oklahoma State. What does he bring to the table?
Yeah, Rodarius was one of our most improved players on our board this year. Really benefited from 2020 tape. He's a guy, you know, we talked to the coaching staff there at Oklahoma State. He is Greedy Williams' little brother, but I like that he doesn't like to be known as Greedy Williams' little brother. He wants to make a name for himself. And what stood out on tape this year was he's just playing with a calm. He's trusting his technique. He just looked like a vet. There's no panic. He's finding the ball. He's playing the ball. So he's one of those big corners that we feel like is going to have a big week down here.
Speaking of big, fast, athletic corners, Robert Rochelle from Central Arkansas, he's going to be a name you hear a lot about after the week down there in Mobile. But one I'm looking forward to watching, I mentioned earlier about Amari Rodgers from Clemson in the slot. Well, we've got somebody that can cover him in Elijah Molden. I think he's going to be one of the better nickel prospects in this entire draft class. I think he can play high as a safety if you wanted him to do that, but very instinctive. Washington has put out a ton of DBs over the last decade, and he's next in line. So him versus Amari Rodgers, that's my early matchup I'm keeping an eye on.
And he's got the lineage as well. His dad, Alex Molden, a first-round pick of the New Orleans Saints back in the 1996 NFL draft. All right, let's get to the safeties in this year's Senior Bowl game. And looking at a couple of guys from Georgia. By the way, a Senior Bowl high, right? 7 acceptances from Georgia this year, heading down to Mobile for the Senior Bowl. Sean Davis also there out of Florida. And Jim, I know you're also excited about Richie Grant.
Yeah, really excited about what Richie Grant's going to bring. He's a do-it-all safety, really. You know, he can play back in the middle of the field. He's got great instincts on the back end. He's really got an opportunistic knack for going up and making plays when they need to be made. And he's a guy that'll come downhill and run alleys and run support. Really a physical tackler. So if you're looking for an interchangeable safety that can play free, can play strong, really good athlete in space, Richie Grant's your guy.
And Jim, some might say we saved the best for last in talking about the specialists and the kickers, because last year, one of the headlines of the practice week was watching Tyler Bass get out there and just absolutely bomb some field goals. He was a terrific player down in Mobile, has been a great kicker as a rookie for the Buffalo Bills. Who are some of the kickers you got lined up this year?
Yeah, and we had Hot Rod last year. I think Rodrigo Blankenship
right.
might be leading the league in scoring right now. I'm not sure. I know he's having a great year too, but Jose Borregales from Miami, really our calls around the league. He was everyone's top-rated kicker in this year's draft. We're excited about him. And then Riley Patterson at Memphis is a guy that has really rebounded and had a great last couple years there for Memphis. Talking to their staff, they're really high on him. The league likes him too. So we lean on the league for some of these specialist invites to bring the guys they want to see. And those two are the top 2 kickers.
And get a chance to see him in another great competitive environment. All right, so with that, we have unveiled the entire Senior Bowl roster thus far. I know some moves still to be made here, as Jim teased, and you can check out the Senior Bowl Twitter account and Jim's Twitter account for the rest of the Senior Bowl acceptances this year. But let's get some final thoughts here, as we are, about 46 days from the Senior Bowl. So, DJ, lead us off.
Well, for me, first of all, I'm thankful that Jim has chosen this platform to be able to introduce these rosters to everybody, because this is kind of the launch of the draft season. And teams, you've had a bad year. It's been a weird year with all that's going on in the world. So if your team was a little bit down this year, you can start getting excited about 21 and what's to come. And this Senior Bowl process is kind of the kickoff of draft season. And Buck, I know down there in Mobile, that's always our favorite week of the year.
It is always our favorite week of the year. Going back to when I had an opportunity to play in the '94 Senior Bowl, it means a lot to see these guys compete. And the thing that I'm going to keep my eye on is just how many of these guys compete, how many guys take their games up a notch because they're playing against some of the best players in the country.
Well, I appreciate what you guys have done to provide this platform and really elevate our game over the last couple of years. Can't thank you guys enough. We're excited about this year. You know, I think there's been a lot of talk about, are we going to have a game or not have a game? we've been pretty steadfast in that we're going to have this game. We owe it to the NFL. We owe it to these players. It's been a hard year on both sides, from the players' perspective and the team's perspective. And we just feel like this is the best platform to bring those guys together and really get this draft process cranked out. So again, we feel safe. We feel really good about our process, our plan, keeping everyone safe, and we're just excited to get everyone down here to Mobile.
Come on, Jim. We're counting on you, man. We're counting on. We need you. We need the Senior Bowl this year. We need 2021 to kick off with a bang. Can't wait to get down there in January and get Senior Bowl week kicked off. Again, Hancock Whitney Stadium and the campus of South Alabama playing host for the first year. That's going to be really cool to see. You can catch all these Senior Bowl practice recaps right here on NFL Network, Tuesday, January 26th through Thursday the 28th, all at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. All, of course, leading up to the 2021 Reese's Senior Bowl, Saturday, January 30th, 2:30 Eastern Time kick. All here on NFL Network. For Daniel Jeremiah, for Bucky Brooks, and for the Executive Director of the Senior Bowl, Jim Nagy, I'm Rhett Lewis, and for everybody working hard on this show behind the scenes, we thank you so much for watching the Move the Sticks Senior Bowl Roster Reveal Show presented by Zaxby's.